Okay, so for this video, I'm gonna do a bit of voiceover for it, just because I don't feel like doing text, and I have a few things to say. Since I couldn't make a cloud underground, because that's not how clouds work, I had to get creative with the build, and that's where the black hole idea came in. I was thinking, well, it took me probably like a day to think of it, but I'm pretty happy with the end result, because it looks good, and I enjoyed making it. I like making stuff like that. Like a bit spooky, still natural though, like still a lot of organic elements, with a bit of symmetry with the actual hole itself. Remember, I do all of these as I go, I don't plan them out beforehand or anything, so if I end up doing anything and then immediately undo it, or just find a better way of doing it right after, that's why. The Rotted Discord that I got, like, literally maybe an hour before recording this video, funnily enough. I was grinding for it for a few hours, but it was worth it, because it comes in really handy when building. As you can see, I get trapped in little holes, and then I just Rotted Discord my way out of them. I go into the holes, add stuff, and quickly get out. It's very nice for constructing stuff, because you don't have to worry about making a hole in your thing every time. I know the materials I'm using probably seem a bit strange for a black hole, but crystal walls are a nice, smooth material. I'll find a lot of them lying around. And gel paints really well any color. Like, you can paint it whatever color you want, and it is a perfect shade of that color. So for making non-natural looking things, like paintings, or stuff like that, like flat things that don't need to have depth to them, it's really good to use gel, because also it's really cheap, you can get a ton of it just from having a simple mob grinder. And you can use it to make very pretty looking stuff. It's one of my favorite blocks in the game, actually. I haven't used it a lot lately, though, because I used a lot of natural stuff recently. I really wanted it to look like it was pulling in pieces of the environment, like pulling in rocks from the walls. As you can see with the Demolitionist house, pulling in a whole part of the wall for him to live in. I thought that was a creative idea. And I'm really happy with the way it came out, because I think I did a good job with making the rocks look like they were orbiting around it and getting sucked in. The ice rod really helped me with placing down the individual blocks, because I didn't have to worry about building out a whole structure and then mining it away. I could just use the ice rod and place down a piece of ice, and then add in a block on top of it and wait for it to melt on its own. As you can see, every now and again the paintbrush would randomly select part of the rock to paint, and I had to undo that, which was a bit annoying and a bit of a waste of paint. But just a little tiny thing that I had to deal with every now and again. If you're wondering why every now and again you'll see me swinging True Excalibur, it's to light up the room. It adds a very nice amount of light that persists even after the sword's missing. So if I want to quickly see if I forgot to place down a block, or accidentally broke something, I just swing the sword and get a nice view of the room, then get back to work in the dark. I actually ran out of my wall building material partway through, as you can see, so I decided to use ebonwood because that's all I had on me, and I thought the shadow paint would make it impossible to tell, but that's not the case. You can still see from the outline, and when I painted a bit purple, you can definitely tell it's wood and not crystal, but it's fine. It doesn't bother me too much. I didn't realize just how well shadow paint could be used to hide furniture until I used it in this build. In the end product, you can't even see that there's a table, chair, and door, so I was very thankful that shadow paint completely paints it black. The cursed flame torches were actually something I came up with entirely on the spot, because they were the only torches I had on me, but when I placed them down I realized that they actually looked really good if you remove the base. Like, they look like a part of an ethereal hole just opened up and let some light in. So I decided to just run with it and add like 1,000 of them. I wanted there to be an effect like water was being sucked out of the pond. Part of this build is corrupted, lol. I didn't have any echo paint because I'm still pre-Plantera, so I'm using shadow painted walls, so you can't see the bubbles. I'm trying to go for a shadow tendril effect with the walls. Now I'm adding more to the pulling of nearby blocks. I'm wanting to use nearby ores to make it look like they are being pulled out of the walls live. Now I'm adding a bonus ring of stone to make it feel more like a death spiral. Adding a few more pockets forward to make it look like it picked some up earlier and has been orbiting. Replacing some of the existing big rocks with ore to add even more to the effect that I'm going for. I needed to add more housing so I can get the mechanic moved down here so the Tinkerer will get the best possible deals. To shift around the housing so they're close enough together. I realized they both needed to be in the same pocket to be close enough, so I had the idea to make it look like the rock was cut in half like a geode. I realized I now have an unnecessary house, and check the bestiary if another NPC like the underground could move in. And I decided to make the hole itself just be a waypoint, so I spent a bit of time making it look centered. And with that, the build is done.